You're in the kitchen, cutting an onion. At first, everything is fine, but then your eyes start to burn. Tears begin to form, and within seconds, you're wiping your face like you just watched something emotional. But here's the weird part. You're not sad. You're just cutting a vegetable. So why does this happen? Why do onions make us cry? And more importantly, what's actually going on inside your eyes? Because here's the catch. It's not just irritation. It's actually a chemical defense system designed to protect the onion from being eaten. Onions might look harmless, but they're not defenseless. In fact, they have a built-in system to protect themselves from animals and insects. When an onion is whole, everything inside it is stable. But the moment you cut into it, you break its cells. And that's when things change. Inside those cells are different chemicals stored separately. Once the cells are damaged, those chemicals mix together, and they trigger a reaction. This reaction produces a special gas, a gas your body really doesn't like. The gas released by onions has a complicated name, but you don't need to remember it. What matters is what it does. Once released, it rises into the air, and eventually it reaches your eyes. Now, your eyes are extremely sensitive, so when this gas comes into contact with them, it reacts with the moisture on the surface of your eyes and forms a mild acid. Yes, acid. Not strong enough to damage your eyes, but enough to irritate them, and your body immediately reacts. Your eyes have one main job when something harmful appears: protect themselves. So when that onion gas turns into acid on your eye's surface, your body triggers a defense response. It tells your tear glands to produce more tears. The goal? To wash away the irritant. That's why you start crying. Not because you're emotional, but because your body is trying to flush out the problem. It's actually a smart survival response. Have you ever noticed that some onions make you cry more than others? That's not your imagination. Different onions contain different levels of the chemicals responsible for the reaction. For example, stronger onions release more gas. Fresher onions can be more potent, and cutting techniques also matter. The more damage you cause to the onion cells, the more gas gets released. That means sharper knives can actually help because they cause less crushing and more clean cuts. You've probably heard a lot of tricks to stop the tears, like holding your breath, cutting onions underwater, or wearing goggles. But do they actually work? Some do, some don't. For example, chilling the onion before cutting it can slow down the chemical reaction, which means less gas is released. Using a sharp knife, like we mentioned earlier, also helps reduce irritation. And goggles? Well, they work because they block the gas from reaching your eyes. Simple as that. But things like holding bread in your mouth, yeah, that doesn't really do anything. Here's what makes this even more interesting. This entire reaction exists for one reason: survival. The onion evolved this system to protect itself from being eaten. When animals or insects try to damage it, they experience the same irritation, and that discourages them from continuing. So in a way, every time you cry while cutting an onion, you're experiencing a defense mechanism that's been around for thousands of years. So, the next time you're in the kitchen cutting an onion and your eyes start to water, you'll know it's not random, it's not weakness, and it's definitely not emotion. It's chemistry. A tiny chemical reaction designed to protect a plant that just happens to affect us too. And once you understand it, those tears start to make a lot more sense.